Tyler had heard the online rumors. Places where reality glitches, liminal zones, malls with no exits, office buildings where time loops and stairwells that never end. But the backrooms? That was different. That was a place, a realm behind existence. Still, it was just internet nonsense. Until the night he stayed late at work and stepped into the supply closet. One moment he was reaching for a toner cartridge. The next, the floor rippled beneath him like water and gravity dropped out from under his feet. He stumbled forward and slammed into something soft and damp. He stood, looked around. Yellow, yellow everywhere. Yellow-stained carpet, yellow wallpaper with faded floral patterns, yellow flickering fluorescent lights buzzing above him like dying insects. The air was thick, moldy, oppressive. The walls stretched endlessly, branching into new corridors every few feet. No windows, no signs, no exit. His chest tightened. He turned back. The door was gone. Tyler walked, calling out. His voice was swallowed by the static hum overhead. No echo, no response. Eventually the buzzing shifted, not the same as the lights. This was lower, deeper, almost like a growl. He paused, listening. It wasn't in front of him. It was behind. He turned. Nothing. And yet, it felt like something was watching. He moved faster. Every corridor looked the same, every turn indistinguishable. His phone had no signal. His watch blinked 3:14 a.m. for what felt like hours. His legs ached. Thirst clawed at his throat. That's when he saw the first scratch marks. 4 jagged lines low to the ground, as if someone or something had been dragged. They trailed along the wall, fresh and glistening. The buzzing grew louder. Now it pulsed, beat, moved. He ran. As he turned a corner, he caught something in the edge of his vision. A figure, tall, thin, unnaturally thin. It stood facing the wall, unmoving, arms long enough to brush the floor. Its head tilted slowly as if listening. He froze, barely breathing. The figure twitched, then turned. It didn't have a face, just skin. Stretched and tight. No eyes, no nose, just a mouth wide and lipless, filled with too many teeth. And it smiled. Tyler bolted. The creature followed, not running, just stalking. Always just far enough away that it wasn't quite there, but he could hear it. Its claws scratched walls like chalk on glass. He hid in an alcove behind a filing cabinet, holding his breath. Silence. Then, slow steps. Scrape, scrape. Then, a pause. The thing leaned just enough around the corner for its grin to peek into view. Tyler clenched his mouth shut. The creature didn't move. Then it turned and walked away, dragging its fingers along the wall, carving fresh tally marks as it went. He waited for an hour before moving again, or maybe longer. Time was broken here. Bloodstains began to appear. Not his. Smears on the floor, handprints on the walls, messages carved with what looked like fingernails. Don't run. Stay still. The hum knows. The walls began to warp. The lights overhead flickered more frequently. Some exploded entirely, showering sparks down on the sticky carpet. He felt himself unraveling. Hunger gnawed at him. His throat burned from thirst. His legs ached with every step. His thoughts became tangled. Was this a dream? Was he already dead? Then he saw it again. The thing. Standing at the end of the hall, head low, twitching, its fingers tapping a slow rhythm against the wall. He turned to flee. The lights all around him died. Only one flickered far ahead, down a long hall, leading into blackness. The hum roared now, vibrating through his bones. He had no choice. He ran toward the light. His breath came in sharp bursts. His heart pounded. The air was thick with rot. He passed more blood. Saw a shredded shirt he swore looked like his own. Even a crumpled ID badge, his name, face all correct, lying in a pool of something that hissed when he stepped in it. The hum changed again, became a voice. "Tyler," he turned. The thing was closer now, half its face illuminated by the flickering bulb, its jaw unhinged too far, leaking black ooze. It lifted a hand, pointed behind him. He turned back. A door. Old, wooden, cracked, glowing faintly around the edges. Salvation. He reached for the handle, heart in his throat. It opened, and behind him the hum became laughter. "Only 2% of you guys watching are subscribed. Please make sure to subscribe to support your favorite horror story channel." Marissa had handled dozens of anomalous sites for ODIS, the Office of Dimensional Inspection and Safety. Infinite staircases, frozen time loops, entire floors that only existed on Tuesdays. But nothing rattled her quite like Room 119. The assignment came with a warning. Containment breach. Level 4B access. Proceed with psychological filters on. The facility was buried in a forgotten stretch of concrete near Omaha. Abandoned government building, redacted history. Marissa and her partner Luis arrived at 2:47 a.m. The building had no power, yet room 119 glowed under a humming overhead light that hadn't been connected to a power grid in over a decade. Luis said what he always did. 30 minutes, in and out. Don't touch anything unless it touches you first. They pulled open the warped metal door. Immediately the temperature dropped. The walls inside bled condensation. The air reeked faintly of ammonia and printer toner. Marissa's boots sank slightly into the soggy gray carpet. Before them stretched an endless corridor of cubicles. Pale blue dividers, half-crushed chairs, coffee mugs fossilized with mold. Computers from the early 2000s sat frozen mid-boot, phones knocked off their receivers. Oddest of all, it felt recent, like everyone had just stepped out. The hum of the fluorescent lights above was steady, too steady. They split up. Marissa marked her path with red grease pencil on the walls. She counted steps, right, straight, left, corner. She whispered it to herself like a mantra. 5 minutes in, her radio crackled, static, then, "Don't look behind you." She froze. "Luis, was that you?" Silence. She turned. The hallway behind her was different. The red marks were gone. In their place were deep scratches, 4 long gashes low on the wall like something had been crawling. She spun back and kept walking faster. The buzzing lights began to flicker. Then came a clicking sound, irregular and wet, echoing softly from somewhere nearby. "Luis," she called again. The copier she passed blinked red. Paper jam. She kept seeing it, again and again, no matter which direction she turned. Time lost meaning. Her watch now blinked 1:01 over and over. Then came the voice again, right behind her ear. "You don't belong here." It was the sound of drowning and whispers shoved through broken speakers. She stumbled backward into a new hallway. Doors lined either side now. One opened on its own. Inside was a windowless office lit by a single swinging bulb. A black and white photo hung on the wall, grainy, water-damaged, but clearly showing her. In a suit she'd never worn, surrounded by people she didn't recognize, all smiling, all looking directly at the camera. Except for her. Her face was turned slightly, as if she'd seen something just out of frame. On the desk was a nameplate, Director M. Klein. She backed away. The door slammed shut behind her. The radio hissed again. "Do you know your name?" She dropped it and ran. Every turn looped. The cubicles folded inward, tighter, denser. Papers spilled across the carpet like rot. The walls wept moisture. The gashes were everywhere now. Blood appeared, dried handprints, drag marks into vents too small for any normal body to enter. Eventually, she found a new space, a massive records room. Rows of metal filing cabinets stretching into fog. Each drawer was labeled with a person's full name: T. Schaefer, L. Romero, J. Alvarez, and finally, Marissa Klein. Hands trembling, she pulled the drawer. Inside was a dusty cassette recorder, a sealed envelope, and a single sheet of paper with a typed statement. "I am no longer me." She played the tape. "Day 116, I tried to escape. I think I got close once, but every door leads back here. I'm still inside myself, but I'm fading. The others, they become part of it. I saw my own face yesterday, it watched me." She dropped the recorder and tore open the envelope. Inside was another photo, again of her, but now smiling wide, eyes hollow black voids. The light above buzzed once, then burst. Total darkness. Something shifted behind the cabinets, a low rasping drag like wet limbs across metal. She turned her flashlight on. It didn't work. Then, breathing. Soft at first, then wet and irregular. Closer. She backed away slowly, bumping into a cabinet. Her hand brushed over a label etched into the metal. Status, resident. Then something cold and smooth brushed against her hand. Corridors changed as she moved. Ceiling tiles fell. Wires hung like vines. The walls bent inward as if the building was inhaling her. She found herself at a dead end. The wall in front of her was entirely flesh-like, pulsing slightly. Carved into it, "You are filed." The floor opened beneath her. She fell through cold, empty black and landed with a sickening thud in the hallway again. Everything reset, radio crackling. 30 minutes, Luis said, standing beside her, smiling blankly. In and out. They call it level echo. Nobody knows when it first appeared. Some say it's a corruption of level 1, others say it's not a level at all, but a presence. A shadow stitched to the walls of the back rooms, mimicking other layers just long enough to pull people in. Caleb wasn't an explorer, not professionally, just a thrill seeker with a blog and a taste for digital rabbit holes. He had posted theories about the back rooms for years, rumors, lost footage, speculation. But when he found GPS coordinates embedded in a corrupted forum thread, he didn't hesitate. The location led him to an abandoned hospital on the edge of town. Cracked windows, flooded basement, the kind of place teenagers dared each other to enter. Caleb didn't flinch. He found the hallway exactly as described. 6th floor, east wing, 3rd door on the left. The laundry chute, except there wasn't one. Just a blank wall, until he blinked. Then a door. It opened inward, and everything shifted. The world beyond was wrong from the start. The air was thick, musty, and silent. Not quiet, silent. An unnatural, absolute stillness that made his own breathing unbearable. The floor was spongy, slick with something like sweat. Gray wallpaper, darker than the classic yellow. No seams. Just long corridors with unnatural corners, and the smell. It wasn't rot exactly, or mold. It was more personal. Like old breath and sweat soaked into carpet for years, it smelled watched. He turned to leave. The door was gone. Typical, he thought, trying to calm his nerves. He marked his path with chalk. Right turn, then left, another right, but every hallway looked identical. He passed the same cracked light fixture 4 times, even though he hadn't doubled back. That's when he heard it. A distant dragging sound like something wet being pulled across carpet. He stopped moving. Silence, then a tap, tap, tap. Soft, deliberate, like a fingernail against glass. He spun around. Nothing. He pressed on. And that's when he saw it, a trail of blood. Thin at first, a smudge, then a handprint. Then a line, thick and meandering, leading from one hallway to another. It looked fresh, warm. He didn't want to follow it, but the only alternative was turning into the darkness behind him. And he felt it, that presence, waiting for him to turn his back. He kept moving. More blood, a shredded glove, a boot with no foot in it, a cracked phone playing faint static despite having no battery. Then ahead, movement, just for a split second. A figure, thin, hunched, too long in the limbs. Its joints moved the wrong way, elbows that bent inward, a neck that twisted with no resistance. Caleb froze. The thing vanished around the corner. He waited. Nothing. He turned on his camera. It flickered, then stabilized. He stepped forward slowly. That's when the thing peaked, just the edge of its face, one empty socket, a long, lipless grin forming along a too-wide jaw. Then it was gone. He ran. Every turn brought more of the same. Flickering lights, warped walls, old monitors playing static and blood. Smears on doors, drips from the ceiling. He ducked into a room with no windows, just a desk and a mirror. He looked into it and saw himself standing behind him. But when he turned, no one was there. The mirror cracked. Behind it, carved into the drywall, "I've watched you since birth." He staggered back into the hallway. Everything was wrong now. His chalk marks were twisted, erased, or rearranged. The thing no longer kept its distance. Now it followed. It stayed in the dark, just past visibility, but always present. Every time he stopped, it would stop. If he walked, it would walk. He tested it, waited, it waited, ran, it ran. He turned a corner. The blood trail ended at a door, the only one he'd seen since arriving. It pulsed slightly, breathing. He pushed it open. Inside, the floor was soft and uneven, flesh-like. The walls pulsed. On the far side of the room sat a mound of old clothes, bags, and shattered cameras, all tagged, labeled, Caleb Ross, Annika Lee D. Haskins, U. He turned. The thing was there, full height now. Its skin a film of muscle and tar. Its face, if it had one, was just a gaping expression, always watching. It stepped forward slowly, not chasing, just claiming. He lifted his camera. The last thing he saw through the lens was the creature leaning in. It whispered, "Thank you for recording your stay."